we are live again. Every Once it's 8 o'clock Nigeria time, which is a local time, we are going to be coming, do our best to come live. Mostly the live section on the live stream is going to be Mondays and Sundays. All right, so we are still on a particular pattern we will be trying to create. If you have not watched the very first live stream that I streamed on Sundays, please do go and watch. I actually created a pattern of a particular bag. I don't know if I can get the pattern here. So let's see if I can get the pattern of the bag I was trying to create. Yeah. Let's see. I was trying to do a similar design. I'm actually trying to do a similar design with this bag. Okay, trying to do a similar design with this bag, but I drafted out a pattern. Okay, the pattern is also kind of similar to this. So the reason I'm saying it's similar is this: for the pattern or the design, the base of the bag, it's longer. The width of the base of the main panel, I don't know if it's safe for me to say it, like describe it that way. This is the bottom side of the main panel, the front main panel. The width of this is actually longer than the width of these parts of the main panel or the front main panel. Okay, that is the design, that is the shape of the bag. Unlike the regular shape that you usually have, that is very simple for beginners to make. So now I did that in my live section that was on Sundays, where I drafted the pattern for that bag. I explained it step by step on how you can draft that pattern. So I was able to come up with something like this. If you followed up, you should know that I was able to come up with something like this, where I explained it thoroughly. Okay, I explained it in details, where I actually got the front main panel, I had the base, and we were able to get the back main panel. Please go and watch that live section. I am also going to pin the link to the comment section by the end. By the time I finish this live section, I'm going to pin the link to the comment section so that at least you can see how this shape was drafted. So this bag, okay, I use an interfacing. Mary, can I get an interfacing? So I use a particular interfacing that is thick. That's a bit thick. Now, for this particular bag, I will advise that you use something like a carry board. Okay, I showed you what a carry board is. No, just the white one. So I showed you what a carry board is. So this was the interfacing I used. This is like a synthetic leather board. It's similar to heavy decorative. Now, for structured bags, because if you know me, most of the bags I make are structured bags. For structured bag, I use interfacing. Sometimes I use Marco, which is also known as EVA foam. There are all lots that I use, but for this one, you can alternate it if you can't get access to some of this interfacing. You can actually alternate them for your petals and your pellium or your decouvert. All right, for your heavy decouvert. Now, if you cannot get heavy decouvert, which I know most time heavy decouvert can be scarce, okay, it can be rare to get, you can combine two light decouvert to get the effect for structured bags. Okay, I'm just trying to give you ideas on how to make your bag structured. Please, I drafted this in the first live section. So if you look at this shape, it's not a regular shape. If you notice it, this part of the main panel is actually longer than the top. I did it in my live section. Go and watch that live section I did on Sunday. We are going to complete this bag, okay, in our live sessions. Okay, I will be taking it gradually. Remember, I told you we are making this bag. Let me show you the picture again. This is the bag we are making, okay, and this bag will be done in our live session, so make sure you follow up the live sessions. Another bag I'm going to upload, just like a normal video, I'm trying to film another bag, but that's not going to be for a live section. So just make sure you turn on your notification bell to get notified so that you don't miss out of any of these videos. So I drafted the pattern already. It was similar to something like this, okay? It was similar to something like this, okay? It's already on my live section, don't forget. Now, what I did, I used this interfacing. Okay, this is a leather board, okay, that's about 1.5 to 2 mm. Now it's similar to your decouvert, all right, similar to your decover. So now I have, once I got this pattern, once I got this particular shape, the next thing I did, I placed the shape, all right, on my interfacing. This is the interfacing I use. This is like a thick leather, but I'm repeating it for mostly beginners that don't have idea. I will come to my DM and be asking me questions. So you use that pattern that you've drafted out to get the to place it on your interfacing and cut the exact shape out. It's very easy to do. I will leave some links where you can actually able to watch where to how you can place your pattern on your interfacing to get it out. So once you've gotten your shape, which was similar to this, okay, which was similar to this, the next thing is to take your interfacing, whatever interfacing you are using. It could be decover, it could be what's it called, EVA foam, also known as Marco. It could be Pectex, it could be Pelium. Whatever interfacing you are using to get that structured or sturdy effect for your bag. Once you've gotten the shape of your bag, take note that this shape I've gotten is like a just single shape which contains the base of the bag, the front panel, and the back panel, excluding the gusset or the side of your bag. Now this is the shape, right? So you apply your cut-out adhesive gum on it. Okay, the next step is to take your interfacing and you apply your cut-out adhesive gum on it. Take note, I'm not actually showing it in this live stream because I'll be doing this over the years, over 5 years now. I'll be showing, if you be following me on my YouTube channel, you will know that this is what I'll be doing. So application of adhesive gum to your interface is not something that is hard for you to do. So I don't want us to revolve around the same thing and keep saying the same thing. So I'll just leave a link where you can watch how I actually applied how to apply contact cement to your interfacing. Contact cement, also known as your shoemaker gum. In Nigeria, it's popularly known as shoemaker gum. So you apply to the wrong side of your interfacing. Once it has been applied to your interfacing, you are going to take your fabric, whatever fabric you are using, and you lay your fabric on it and kind of gum it on your interfacing. This is a simple process. I said I'm going to leave a link where you can watch it. I don't want us to go through the simple process, to waste time doing the simple process. So the difficult process for this particular bag we are making is drafting these patterns. The ability to get the shape and the ability to get the gusset for the bag is what is most important. But I'm here to just tell you the truth and what you need to know. Let's not just beat around the bush and be saying things that are not necessary. Things that are not necessary rather. So once you place your fabric on it, this is how it's going to be. Okay, if you are using a carry board or something more structured, it could have been more structured than this. Okay, I actually ran out of carry board, so I don't have enough. I decided to use this. So when you use this, you can also make a good bag out of it, but the problem is it's not going to be as structured as when you use a carry board. All right, so what the trick to this is this: when you are making a bag and you use the first interfacing, let's say you make a bag, you use a light decover or a heavy decover, whatever decover you are using, and you find out that it's not as thick or it's not as structured or sturdy as what you want, you can combine two of this interfacing to give it that effect that you intend to get. Okay, you can actually combine a heavy decover, you can actually combine a heavy decover with a light decover to get that structured effect, or you can combine two light decover to get a structured effect. But if you don't want it to be that structured, you can use one particular interfacing. You don't have to combine it. This interfacing is not as structured as what I intend to get, but I wouldn't want it to be that structured. Okay, I will just leave it the way it is. But I just want you to take notice of the shape of this bag. It's not a regular shape. You can see that this place is, okay, I'm sorry, the network is actually bad. Okay, you see. So I was saying that this shape, the top part of it is different, is shorter compared to the base or the bottom part of it. So once fabric, whatever fabric you are using, in this case it could be your leather, your fabric, it could be your denim, it could be your Africa print, also known as Ankara. Once you have actually placed it on your interfacing like this, it's going to come up like this. You see that once you know the process of cutting, measurement, and actually putting your fabric to interfacing, almost like, let's say, 10% of the work will be done. Okay, as you see, this is a very simple process. I did not separate, or I did not demarcate the shapes. I didn't separate the base from the body. You can see just one single body. Okay, just one simple body. So most of the bags I'll be trying to separate the base, where the back panel is separated from this and this. And in that process, you'll be wasting time trying to make sure that all of these are put together. But in this case, I actually made it one single body. All right, now that you've done this, the next thing we are going to be thinking of doing now is to get the gusset, also known as the body of the bag. Also known as the side of the bag. So we are going to be making or drafting out the bodying of the bag. What am I saying? Sorry. We are drafting out the side or the gusset of the bag. So I already have some of the templates cut out. This is how the side of the bag is going to look like. It's not going to be something flat, okay? It's just going to have this boss corner shape, something kind of what's it called, that this 3D kind of shape, because we actually want it to stand like this. Okay, we want it to stand like this. So it's not going to be plain, it's not going to be flat, but it's going to be having some kind of bossed corners. So in order to have that shape, I'm sweating a lot now. Sorry. So in order to have that shape, Mary, please hold the fan for me. So to have that shape, what you are going to do to have this particular shape, you are going to cut notches on your gusset. These are the notches. So I'm going to explain how to. Can I get on the fan? So I'm going to explain how this gusset of the bag or the side of the bag is being derived. How we got this particular shape, which is the gusset. Now for this bag, the measurement for the main panel, okay, this is the front panel, this is the back panel, and this is the base of the bag. So the measurement for the main panel, if you measure the height of this, is actually 10 inches, okay? Then the width of this from the base is 14 inches. Please follow up. Go and watch my live section that I did yesterday. The dimensions are there, and also on my community. So this is 14 inches and this is 11 inches. Take note, the way we got our 11 inches, we actually kind of reduced it or slighted the top part of the bag by 1.5 inches on each side. So if you add the 1.5 to the 1.5, that would be 3, and 3 minus 14 inches, okay, to give you 11. I explained that in detail. Go check my community or check the live session I did on Sunday. Now the height of this is 10 inches, the width is 14 inches. So because the height is 10 inches, what you do to get the side of the bag, you add 1 to it. The reason we are adding 1 to it is because we are going to be reducing it. These notches, we are going to be cutting 1 inch notches out of this part of the bag. If, for instance, you are removing a notch that is about 1.5 inches, okay, you will add that 1.5 to it, because by the time we cut, we are going to be folding it like this, right? And it's going to be reduced by 1 inch. That 1 inch is going to affect the height, so you have to add that 1 inch to it so that it will not be affected. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. So in this case, the height of this is 10 inches, and if I measure the gusset right now, if I measure the gusset, you find that the gusset too is 10 inches, okay? If you want the gusset to get to the top, you make it 11 inches, okay? The reason you are going to make it 11 inches, if you want the gusset to get to the top of the bag, is this. Let me repeat again. Because you are reducing it from this part, you are reducing it from this part with 1 inch, so you have to add that 1 inch to it. All right. In this case, the height of this is 11. The height of this is 10 inches, and I'm taking 10 inches for the gusset. In this case, the gusset will not get to the top. If you want the gusset to get to the top, you have to add 1 to the gusset. Instead of taking 10 inches, you make it 11 inches. And by the time you finish, that 11 inches is going to be reduced to 10 inches because we are going to be removing 1 inch, because we have cut out a notch of 1 inch. So because when you fold it like this, it reduces. So you have to add 1 inch to it to make it 11 inches. Now that this bag, the main body of this bag is 10 inches, this one, the gusset is 10 inches, it will not get to the top. By the time we fix it to the side of the bag, it's not going to get to the top, rather it's going to be reduced by 1 inch. If you want it to get to the top, let me repeat, you have to make it 11. So when the height of this is 10, this gusset has to be 11, because you are reducing it here. You have reduced it here by 1. But when you fold, you can see that it's now smaller, so you have to add 1 inch to it to compensate for that reduction that you are doing here. So that is for the height. Then for the width of the gusset, how did we get it? Hope you understand how we got the height of the gusset. The height of the gusset is, it would have been the same with the height of the body, if not for the notches we are cutting out. So since you are cutting out a notch of 1 inch, you have to add that 1 inch to the gusset. So rather than taking 10 inches, which is equivalent to the height of this, okay, you take 11 inches, because you are going to be reducing this. But this notch is going to make it to be reduced by 1 inch. So adding 1 inch to this 10 inches will compensate for this notch that you cut out. Okay, and the reason we are cutting out notches is to make the bag stand. By the time we put it to the side of the bag, we want it to stand just the same way this one is standing pretty. So we have to have this boss corner on the gussets. All right, so if you want to know more detailed explanation, PDF explanation, video explanation, just make sure you register for my online class. Okay, it will be detailedly explained there. Now that is how the gusset of this bag is being formed. All right, that is for the height. Now how do you get the width of the gusset for this bag? Because we want it to stand like this. All right, this is what we want. So to get the width for this bag is this. You have to consider the base of the bag. The width for the base of the bag is 4 inches. Okay, now if you measure this out, this particular part of the base, the gusset out, you notice it's 4 inches. The reason I'm actually, the top part is 6 inches, okay, because I want it to be wider. So to get this part, we need this part of the base to fit to the base of the bag. We need this part of the gusset to fit to the base of the bag. Remember that the measurement, the width for the base of the bag is actually 4 inches. If you measure here to here, it's 4 inches. And this has to be 4 inches as well, so that when you put it here, it can fit in. Okay, since the width of the base is 4 inches, the gusset has to be 4 inches. So if you measure this to this, the measurement from this part of it to this part is 4 inches. We can experiment that. So you see what I'm saying? Let's just confirm. Can you see that it's 4 inches? All right, now the reason I've gotten this to be 4 and this part of it is 6 inches, I will explain to you. Just be patient. If you see that this part, the top part is 6 inches and this part of it is 4 inches, we need this part to sit on the base. Since the base is 4 inches in width, this has to be 4 inches so it can sit well on the base. And the top is 11 inches. Since this is 10 inches, you add 1 inch to it so you can get 11 inches. So the reason why this is 11 inches is because of this notch that we've cut out. By the time we fold it like this, okay, it's going to be reduced by 1 inch. So that one that we added to the 10 inches to make it 11 inches is to compensate for this notch that we have cut out. Please, if you don't understand this video, go and watch it like up to 3 times. Put out some notes, jot down some notes so you understand. I'm just here for the beginners. Now, since I told you the reason we are cutting out these notches is because we want it to sit pretty well. And the reason I'm taking 6 inches because I want it to be wider. If you want it to be extremely wide, you can take 7 inches. So when you take 7 inches, you remove 1 inch from here, you remove 1 inch from here. And when you add the 2 inches, because this is 1 inch, this is already 1 inch. I actually cut out 1 inch and I cut out 1 inch. So when you add this 1 inch plus this 1 inch, it gives you 2 inches. And when you subtract 2 inches from 6 inches, it will give you 4 inches. Don't worry, I'm going to be explaining with this particular so I I will explain with this. Don't worry, we are still going to explain how we got this. Okay, just like a basic explanation. So if you want it to be 7 inches, 7 inches, if the width is 7 inches, that means the base is going to be wider. All right, if you want the base to be slimmer, you have to take 5 inches. Okay, if you take 5 inches, that means rather than reducing it by 1 inch, you will have to take half inches. You have to cut the notch to be half inches, because half plus half will give you 1, and 1 minus 5, it will give you 4. We always want the base to be equal. We always want this part of the gusset to be equal to the base. Okay, if you take 7 inches for instance, okay, and you reduce it, because most time I do reduce by 1, either 1 or half inches. If you take if the width of this is 7 inches and you decide to cut a notch of 1 inch on each side, that will give you 2 inches. By the time you add this notch, which is 1 inch, and you add this to it, it will give you 2 inches. And when you subtract 2 inches from the width of 7, it will give you 5 inches. Okay, and 5 inches, if this part of it is 5 inches, that cannot fit to this, because this is already 4 inches. So in that case, you will have to add, like you would have to make the base to be 5, so that this can sit well. Okay, what I just explained is, if you want it to be wider and you intend to take 7 inches for the width, okay, and you reduce it by 1 inches. If you reduce this by 1 inch, you reduce it by 1 inch, what you have to do in order to get your how will I put it now, in order to get what this has to be, so that it can fit to the base, you have to add this 1 inch to 1 inch. Okay, that will give you 2 inches, and 2 inches minus the total width of this, which is 5 inches, which is 7 inches, will give you 5 inches. So if it's 5 inches and this is 4 inches, it will not work. You have to make the base 5 inches, so that this one that is 5 inches can sit pretty on this, it can match together. Okay, that is how to get it. It's just, you just have to practice for you to understand what I am saying. Now I have a pieces of carry board or leather board cut out for the explanation of how I got this particular shape. Now to get the side of the bag, which is similar to this, I mean the gusset of the bag, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take I'm going to get the measurement of the body of the bag. This to this is actually 10 inches. Okay, so the height for the gusset is going to be 10 plus 1 inch. Now the reason I'm adding that 1 inch is because we are reducing the gusset by 1 here. So if you are reducing the gusset by half, you had half inch, that will give you 10.5 inches. But because we are reducing the gusset by 1, you are going to be adding that 1 to that 10 inches to give you 11 inches. Okay, that is how you get the height of your bag. Now that because this is 10 inches, okay, I would have taken 11 inches here, but I actually took 10 inches for this bag. For the gusset, I took 10 inches because I really don't want the gusset to get to the top. I don't want the gusset to get to the top of the body. Okay, I don't want it to get to the tip. I want it to be reduced by 1 inch. So I'm taking 10 inches instead of 11 inches. If you want it to get to the top, you follow that process I just explained. The first one, you have to make it 11 for it to get to the tip of the body of your bag. All right, now we just explain how to get the height. We said the height for this particular bag is 10 inches, but if you want it to get to the top, you make it 11 inches. Then how do you get the width? Okay, because now we've gotten the height. Now, so how did I get the width of this bag? Now the width of this bag is 6 inches. Okay, so the width of the bag is determined by the width of the base of the bag. So since this is actually the base of the bag, the width of the base of the bag is 4 inches. So we have to do whatever we can do to make the width of this gusset to be 4 inches, since the base is 4 inches. Now the reason I took the top part to be 6 inches and this to be 4 inches is this. I want the gusset to be wide. Okay, if you want it to be wider, you can take it 7 inches. But by the time you finish cutting your notches, it should also amount to 4 inches. 6 is determined by the base, and the base is 4 inches. If you measure this part of it now, you notice that it's 4 inches. It's part of the fact that the top part is 6 inches. So what I did was this: I took 6 inches, okay, and I cut a notch, okay, I cut a notch of 1 inches on each part. Okay, so if you add this notch to this notch, it will give you two. I mean, if you add the measurement of this notch, which is 1 inch, to the measurement of this notch, which is 1 inch, that will be 2 inches minus 6 inches. It will give you 4 inches. If for instance you intend to make the gusset wider, you are taking 7 inches, you reduce it by 1, yeah, you reduce it by 1, that will give you 2 minus 7, that will be 5. In that case, you have to make the base of the bag, the width to be 5, but in this case it's 4. So this one is 4. So let's do our mathematics, let's do our calculation. So I'm going to reduce all of this on each side. I'm going to be reducing it by 1 each, so we can cut out the notches like this. We need to cut out the notches like this, okay? And so let's do that now. So I will reduce it by 1 inch. I'll just reduce it by 1 inch. I don't have my ruler here. So I'm supposed to join this with a ruler. I don't have it here. Let me just use this to connect the lines. So please, as a beginner, use a ruler. So I don't want to stand up to go look for a ruler. So let me just use my hand to kind of connect the lines. So once it's like this, the next thing you are going to do is to cut out the notches, okay? Because you want to get something like this. Because you want it to be like this, okay? So you connect it. Mary, I don't think this is the best time for me to go live. The view is kind of low. I'll start. Okay, your phone. Because of your phone. I'll be doing it in the morning. So now you can see what we got, which is similar to this. So this is how to get the gusset of the bag. So by the time we wrap it with our fabric, you are going to be sewing it like this. You can see that it's gotten that bust corner shape. So that's how to get a bust corner shape, which is like this, okay? And similar to this. This is a master class. These are what most of the things I teach my students. Take advantage of it and make sure you go via the live section with not go through it gently. Take your time, go through it, watch it, and understand what we are trying to explain. So once you get this, you are going to use this pattern to get the other side, because we are going to need 2 sides or 2 gussets for this particular bag, and this is what is going to fit into this. By the time we fold it like this, okay, it's going to fit into it like this. It's going to fit into it like this. So this is how to do it. So we get this and we get the second one. Then you wrap it. To wrap it, what you are going to do, Mary, can I get, okay, that fabric? I'll just quickly do one of it. I will just kind of apply gum on this. Sorry about the brush I'm using. Okay, it's being overused. Can I get that fabric, Mary? Mary, can I get that fabric? That Ankara fabric. this is it, right? So I'm just going to take the wrong side. Okay, this is the front. Sorry, oh my god, I'm going to stain. So let me just turn. So this is the wrong side. This is the wrong side. Okay, and this is the front. So I'm going to take this and actually place it on the wrong side of the fabric. So if it has a particular pattern, there's a particular design, make sure you follow the design to make it uniform. So I will always advise my students, you can see, because we are on live session, I'm not taking some necessary precautions. I'm supposed to allow the gum to get dry for like 10 to 15 minutes so it doesn't stain. But you can see because it's still wet, because immediately I apply the gum, actually place the fabric, it has stained the fabric. So you have to be careful. That's one of the precautions you take. Then secondly, when you are using an African print like this, always make sure you iron your print, okay, so you can get some wrinkles out of your bag. Now I'm just going to smooth out the wrinkles. Okay, you can also take it to the iron and kind of iron it out. Then just cut the excess fabric out. Very. Okay. So once you've gotten it like this is the gusset. Okay. Don't worry. So I'm going to use my hand. Sorry, because to be faster for me, rather than using the brush, I'm going to use my hand to kind of apply the gum. So you can take it to the iron and iron out the wrinkles. Then so it's going to be something similar. Let me just cut off this part of it. So the gusset is going to be looking like this. You can see it. The gusset is going to be looking like this. Okay, this is what is going to be on the side of the bag. It's going to be on the side of the bag. It's going to be having like a box corner shape. Okay, so that it can sit on the base side. I mean, it can sit on the base. Okay, so it's going to be looking like this. So you can use your heavy decover for this particular, or get it structured in fact. I don't have my clips, but by the time we finish it, you're going to like it. Can I get some clips, Mary? Eh? So I'm just trying to show you how, like a preview of how it's going to look. So Yeah, so you can see that it not gets to the top. It didn't get to the top. So you do the second one for this. So when you do this bag, you find out that it's not going to be that structured. So from the initial stage, you can actually tell if this bag is going to be structured or not. So if it's not as structured as you intend to get, you can add more additional interfacing to it. In my own case, I'm going to be adding more interface, like one layer, another layer of interfacing to bring out the structuredness of this bag to make it more structured and sturdy. But this is basically how you can see that it fits in on the bag, and because I reduced it by 1 inch, you can see it did not get to the top. Just exactly what I was trying to explain. So I'm going to do this one. Okay, I'm going to apply it, but just the same way I applied on this. I will apply on it, then wrap it with my Ankara plate. And by tomorrow, we are going to be talking on how we can draft the handle of the bag, how you can get the D-ring holder, how you can draft the zipper panels and the pockets for the bag. Then we are going to kind of put our lining on it, and then that, like, 70% of the work will be done. Okay, we'll be almost through with the bag. These are just very easy things to do. It just depends on how passionate and determined you are to learn. Because once you know you are good in measurements, you are good in cutting straight, you are good in application of gum and how to get rid of wrinkles, then the last thing you're going to be thinking of, okay, will be actually sewing, because I know some persons encounter issues when sewing with their machines. The issues or challenges might not go come from you. It could be because your machines, your sewing machine is having some certain issues. Maybe you don't have idea on how you can adjust it in the proper way for you to get it effect or the results you want. So these are just basically the little things that you need to know in order to make some good professional looking bags. All right, so have a beautiful day. Maybe probably tomorrow or by Monday we will continue, but make sure you turn on your notification bell so you can get notified anytime I have a new video to either upload or to stream live. All right, have a beautiful day. Bye. I say